In this video, we're going to review the Moose Walk Trail here along the North Shore of Minnesota. And we're going to start right now. Man, look at these views! Say welcome to the video. My name is Chris, and if you want information on trails, product testing, and just other ATV related content, make sure you tap that subscribe button. Alright, so in this video, as it was mentioned, we're going to talk about the Moose Walk / Moose Run ATV trail system along the North Shore. And you might be asking why we're going to combine them, and I'll talk about that in a minute down below. It's like humid as balls out here right now. Like, I don't know where you're at, but our humidity level here today is like 110%. All right, so we're gonna start with the basics, and then we'll get into some more in-depth information. But I gotta mention, this is only 2 trails in a larger trail system along the North Shore. So if you wanna see more info on some of the other trails, you can click that right there. Otherwise, we've also got brand new feature we're trying, Midwest ATV's Guide to the North Shore. Now this is a new concept, so we're selling it super inexpensive. It's like $2 right now, and it's literally pages of information on trails and amenities and all that along the North Shore. So yeah, so check it out. So let's start with the trailheads. Now there's a lot of different trailheads along this trail. I mean, a lot. Like, let's look at a map. You can hit it here, 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 and here. Now, I'm gonna recommend this trailhead right here. This is kind of what we're calling the main trailhead. The reason for that is it's right in Silver Bay, and you have a lot of access right there to gas, snacks, and then easy access to the trail. All right, so from this main trailhead, we're gonna go ahead and get on the trail so you can see some of that footage, and we'll keep on talking about the basics. Now, Class 1 and Class 2 are allowed on this trail system. Class 1 being your 50 inches and below, your Class 2 being your 50 inches to 65 inches. Now, the Moose Walk trail system is 22 miles, and the Moose Run is 12 miles. If you've been riding on this trail, by the way, definitely leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of it, or if you've been wanting to go here, you've heard things about it, whatever you got, make sure you leave a comment down below so that I can get your thoughts, and then others in the community can hear what you have to say as well. All right, so the ground type here, it's about 75% dirt. You've got about 13% gravel, 10% rock, and then 2% pavement. Now, I realize those seem a little weird. They're just rough estimates. I just obviously wanted to get to 100% and try and give you the best idea of the type of surface area that you're gonna be riding on. There's very little mud along this trail system. However, as you can see here, for example, we did find some water to play in, but even that, it's really more of a relaxing, just ride through the forest. The trails are a little technical, but as you can see, they're not overly intense. This isn't something extreme. The difficulty level is nowhere near a 5. Speaking of which, it's actually a 2 out of 5. Now, if you're a real new rider, you might get a little, skittish here if you have like no riding experience, but overall, it's really not technical, and most riders will not find themselves concerned about any dangers during the ride. All right, so the actual trail environment. Now, this trail is located around the Sawtooth Mountains in and near the Silver Bay along the North Shore of Minnesota. In fact, let's pull up a map of the area quick. As you can see, here's the trails over in this area, and then you've got the water over here. And if you don't know this area very well, I want to say mountains, but it's really not. I mean, if you're from anywhere outside the Midwest, you would not consider these mountains. But for the Midwest, you could say that this is a mountainous area. I mean, it is called Sawtooth Mountain, but if you're from Colorado or Montana, you'd probably laugh. All right, back to the trail. So it is deep in the forest, just surrounded by spruce and pines as far as the eye can see. I mean, it is definitely gorgeous out on these trails. So as you can see here, this is really the Moose Walk Trail, and over here is the Moose Run Trail. Now, technically, you could get a trailhead from either side of this, but they really do kind of come together. And if you weren't paying attention while you were out on the trail, you really wouldn't know which one you're on. I mean, there's nothing to really separate them per se. It kind of just seems like one large trail system. And just reviewing Moose Run on its own, a 12-mile trail system where it blends in. Thanks a lot, airplane. I'm trying to shoot a video here. Do one, do both when you're out there, whatever. They're pretty much gonna feel like the same trail. As you can see here, you spend your majority of the time just deep in the forest, surrounded by spruce and pines as far as the eye can see. I mean, it is gorgeous out there. And speaking of eyes, make sure you keep an eye out. That was too many eyes. Bottom line, there's amazing views. All right, when the trees open up and you could just see off in the distance and down the mountains, hills, whatever. I mean, it's just gorgeous. As far as views in Minnesota trails, I don't know if you're gonna find better views than you will on this trail system. If you know of a better spot, definitely let me know so I can check it out. So because of all that, we gave this a trail environment rating of 5 out of 5. The trails are dirt trails. They don't really seem like they've been groomed by, you know, organizations or the DNR, so you really just feel like you're out there. You're surrounded by trees. The views are amazing. And not to mention, you're along the North Shore. And if you've never been to the North Shore, it is a gorgeous place. I mean, definitely one of the best views and areas in the Midwest where you could just get away, enjoy where you're at, and just relax. So as you can tell, I really thought it was great. I had an awesome time out there. All right, so let's talk about amenities. Now, anywhere that has lodging directly along the trail where I don't have to get my ATV on or off to ride/sleep is an automatic plus in my book. And this trail system definitely has that. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up a map here, and there's a couple options. You could stay at a hotel, or you can camp. Now this right here is the American. It's right in Silver Bay, and it's got direct trail access. And it's really not advertised on the trail map, but if you go right here, you can actually access the trail. There's a tunnel that goes right under the road, and then it will meet up with the main trail, okay? So it's definitely an easy option, and it just works out really well. Another great option is this campground right here. This is an awesome campground. I mean, you feel like you are just deep in the woods. The trail literally runs through the campground, so there's no issues there. They even have showers on site, so go out, get dirty. You want to come back, clean up, not a problem here. You got all your amenities. You can bring your RV, bring your tent, whatever you got. They even have some cabins available for rent, so definitely a great option. Now, as far as food along the trail, at that main trailhead we showed earlier, there's that gas station. You can grab snacks or whatever you want. And I should mention as well, Silver Bay is a pretty ATV-friendly town. So, you know, if you're right on the trail there, you can just kind of cut into town, grab something to eat. Obviously, make sure you're following all laws and whatnot. But the town itself is very ATV-friendly. Now, the other option, and this just worked out awesome for us, is you can follow the trail here, and then eventually you'll meet up with this general store in Finland. It's a little co-op. It is like almost the perfect spot to stop and just refuel, get some food, relax for a few minutes, whatever you want to do, because it's kind of on the opposite end of the trail system. So it's kind of like your halfway point. Great option, food, fuel, restrooms, whatever you need, you're good to go. And that's gonna lead me to the question of the day. Have you been on this trail system before, and what are your thoughts? I know I brought it up earlier, but definitely leave those comments down below. I really do love hearing what other people have to say about the trails, as well as if you're considering hitting this trail, make sure you read those comments so you can get a better understanding of the trail, as well as some other perspectives. So like this video if it was helpful, subscribe if you haven't already, and it's humid as balls out here. Just kidding, I hope to see you on the trail.